Welcome to Tech Brothers with Amir. In this video, we are going to learn how to create a unique constraint on a column or columns for existing table in a SQL Server. So now let's go ahead and open SSIS and connect to one of the SQL Server instances. So I'm connected to the instance I have. Then go to the databases, go to the database where your table does exist. So in our case, this is the table. So we have dbo.Customer. I'm just going to take a look on the columns before I go ahead and create the unique constraint. I would like to create a unique constraint on SSN, and then I would like to create a unique constraint on two columns as together. So first name and last name. So we'll be creating two unique constraints on this table by using these different columns. First, open new query, and you have to say alter table and then provide the table name. So I'm going to drag the table name, and here you will say add constraint and provide the name. I really recommend using some naming convention what you are using in your company. So let's say in my company we say always start with the UQ, that's unique constraint, and then what we do, we use the schema name, then we use the table name, and then we use the column name. So that's the naming convention we use. And here you will say unique and then provide the column itself. So SSN, that's the column on which we would like to create the unique constraint. Go ahead and run this query. It completed successfully. Now to take a look if the constraint is created successfully, there are multiple ways. I'm going to use a system view to get this information. So select asterisk from information schema, and we say table underscore constraints. If I run this query, I will get all the constraints from this database, but I'm interested only in unique, and I don't have really other constraints such as a check constraint or default, so it showed me only one constraint what I have here. So this is good. Next, if I'm interested to create the constraint, especially I'm talking about unique constraint in this scenario on multiple columns, first name and last name. So not much different. We will say alter table, table name, and then we have to say add constraint, constraint name, and here provide the name. I'm going to call this one f name underscore l name, and we say unique and provide the column names. So first name, last name, these are the column names on which I would like to create a unique constraint, and this should be as a whole one unique constraint on two columns. Now we can go ahead and run it and run the select query on the view to get the constraint if they are available for our table. We can see that they are created on customer table, and these are the names of the constraints. So unique constraint, once you have on the table, they will only let you insert the unique values. So in a case of SSN, it will always let us insert the unique values in the SSN. You can have one null value, and in case of where we have a unique constraint on first name and last name, it will let us always insert the unique values as a whole in first name and last name. But you can have one set of entire null. Let's say you can have first name and last name, null. This is the only one set you will have as a whole nulls, but rest of the values can have a null. Let's say Amir comma null, that's allowed, and null comma Amir, that's allowed, and you can have null comma John, that's allowed. So you see that as if you are creating a unique constraint on multiple columns, there is only one set of nulls are allowed, but you cannot, that means that if you will try to insert another value, say null, it's not going to let you do it because this value already does exist. So anyways, and if you will also try, let's say null and John, that's not allowed as well. So but we understand from here it only accepts the unique values and scenarios where we feel like okay, we should always have unique values as a whole for first name and last name. We can create the unique constraint, and with all these values what I have showed you here, I have a video how to create a constraint on multiple columns, and I perform actually inserts and showed you errors and everything. I recommend actually if you guys have a time, watch that video. Thanks very much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next video.